Hello, I'm not even sure if I'm in the right place. I was having a hard time finding my event. It is 4 p.m. and it is May the 8th. So I'm hoping some people are going to pop up here. I've had one of those crazy days, so we'll see what's going on. I don't know if I made a mistake setting up today's event, but we'll see. Oh, hi, Kelly. How are you? Oh, good. Did you get on okay? Sorry, I was having an awful hard time finding my live event on Facebook. So I hope you found it okay. Welcome. I was just saying that I've had a kind of a busy day, so something's always bound to go wrong at the last minute. I've got to check on Facebook to see what changes they've made. How are you doing today? Are you having a busy day? Hi, Lori. How are you? How are your days going? Here's my Tim Hortons tea, which I bought like over an hour ago, maybe 2 hours ago, and I just had to reheat it to have a sip right now. So I had a busy kind of day. How is everyone's day going? Especially after the new moon. It was just the new moon the other day. I found that new moon very emotional. I don't know why, but it was. It was for me. Oh, awesome. Lori says she's working from home and taking a break. Absolutely. I did take the weekend off. I just kind of booked myself off on my schedule. And I'm like, it's me time. I got to remember me because, you know how we are. We're so used to taking care of people. It's hard to kind of stop and just take care of yourself. Kelly said, I'm persevering with as much grace. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know. I had a bit of a busy day today. I went to the doctor's with my husband. The doctor said to him, why are you here? My husband's like, oh, because, my chest gets tight. I have trouble breathing. And the doctor said to him, you're here because in September you had a heart attack. And I'm like, finally, is someone going to help to get this through my husband's head? And he still was kind of like, oh. And he goes, don't think because you have your stents and you have medicine, it's cured your problem. It has not cured it. You're managing it. So I was just there kind of trying to get my husband in line with his own health care because it's a lot for me to take care of with everything else I need to do. So I'm hoping the doctor went over the meds. He kind of told us the next steps to do. And basically, I think I've got to be my husband's coach and caregiver to keep him in line. So I don't know. He just kept saying, I know I got to exercise more. I'm like, anyways, sorry about that. That's what I just went through about. I just got home from the appointment. So I'm still a little worked up about that. And the doctor thinks he probably has sleep apnea too, so he should get tested for that. And that can put a lot of pressure on your heart also, which I didn't know. So anyways, I'm there just trying to support him, get him in the program and get him moving and being aware of what he needs to do. But enough about me. Sorry about that. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Hi, Amanda. Kelly, it's such a blessing that you still make time for us as well. Oh, yeah. I do love Wednesdays and chatting with everybody. I was running around saying to my guides, okay, is everything going to be okay? I know I'm really in a hurry and I was doing all these things. And so we'll see how it goes today. I had a kind of crazy day today. It is a lot to deal with. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to cry or yell on the way home. I'm like, what's with this guy? What isn't he getting? And my goodness, talk about, patterns and certain lessons. I'm like, my goodness, he reminds me of my mother so much. Just kind of in this denial and the doctor said to me, have you changed anything since your heart attack? And I'm waiting there to see because I was going to call him out if he lied. And he goes, and the doctor said, no. And he hasn't changed one thing. And I just said to him the other day, you can't, live like you're a 30-year-old when you're in your 60s. What's wrong with you? Shake yourself. Wake up, buddy. So anyways, maybe I'll see what my guides can do and maybe give him a little bit of a shake up and get him on the right path here. I'll take all the support I can get here. But enough about me. Hi, Kathleen. How are you? Nice to see you. Does anybody have any questions or comments? I just know was it the day of or was it the day before? It might have been the day before the new moon. I just had this awful weight on me. It was like, oh. So I don't know what that was all about. And I was very emotional. I don't know if it was like thinking about my husband and trying to get him on track and all that, or if it was just I needed a good clearing and cleansing. So that's what I did. I did a lot of clearing. I spent a lot of times on my chakras, making sure everything was good. I didn't have like any cords or attachments to me. And it really made a difference in my, the way I was feeling, my kind of like my perspective on the day. And I was like, wow, I never felt so heavy, like just like that. And I didn't even know I was feeling like that. So sometimes that can be the spirit world, and you just have to do some clearing and cleansing just to give people a heads up about that. So that can be helpful doing that. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Biapi. And I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Hi, Corrine. Hi, how are you? Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, Wendy. I'm always, that's so nice. You guys are so, hi, Kelly. Like my tribe here, eh? It's so nice, isn't it? Just getting together with people, feeling safe and being able to chat. And thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. Is there anything anybody would like to chat about? Actually, I wonder, did anyone have a crazy thunderstorm last night? I have never heard thunder so loud in my life. I swear I felt the earth shake. And of course, it was just before bed, and I take my dog out to pee before bed, so I'm huddling in the corner like pee, 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 like pew, yeah. And I came running in because I've been terrified of thunder and lightning since I was a child. So it's like I went into panic mode. I'm looking for a flashlight, and I kept saying to my husband, can lightning come in through the bedroom window? Can lightning come in through the bedroom window? But eventually stopped. And the rain, it just poured buckets. It was the craziest thunderstorm. But the weather got really warm yesterday and got humid. And I think, that moisture just had to come out of the clouds. But crazy thunder. I'm like, is this so? I kept feeling like this is like, there's a sign here, something about some changes coming. I don't know. I just kept thinking that last night. But anyways, we'll see if my intuition's on or it's just a trigger from my childhood about being caught a thunderstorm on the way home from school and running to the first balcony or porch I could find and just kind of huddling there in the corner and shaking and waiting for the storm to be over. Didn't matter what house it was, but that's what I would do. I'm chatting away. Oh, Corrine, I'm curious to know if our past partners will wait to reincarnate so we can reincarnate together. That's an interesting question. You know what? I don't think there's any kind of rules set out. Like, for example, how long spirit will stay in the spirit world. I think there's a whole bunch of things that come into play with that. It might be your particular contract, the lessons you learned, what you're learning on the other side, and when you feel you want to come back and finding the right guide to support you with all that. So, I truly believe that relationships are eternal. Even if someone reincarnates, you still have that soul connection, let me say. And I don't know if that answered that a lot. I get much. I get a little nervous about reincarnation because I don't quite understand that enough. I guess that's something I just have to work with my guide to ask more questions about, and the spirit world in general. I do know that life continues, our soul's eternal, it does continue, and it all decides on what you want to do. I know some souls can decide that they want to stay on the other side. Some decide to be guides. And I don't know if you truly know what your next kind of steps are until you're on that side. I really feel there's only so much knowledge that we're given. But I do know, and I say this all the time, if there's any work you need to do it here. Don't wait till you're on the other side. So I'm a big believer in, forgiveness and compassion and, following your dreams. I'm a big believer in that. Like, don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Hi, Lori. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Margaret. How are you? Any other questions? Hi, Ashley. How are you? I'm just trying to think about what I've read about reincarnation. I don't know that much about it. I know there's a life review, and I've had many experiences and even dreams seeing what it's like on the other side when you arrive. And it's like, there's like like orientation. That's what it reminded me of. And there was like this giant, I'm a teacher, so just think of a giant auditorium with all these chairs, and people are coming in and they're sitting down, and there's guides at the front, and they're just going to go over kind of the processes and how things work over here. And it was just amazing, just amazing. I had that experience. I had another experience where, Spirit was waiting to go in to chat with it felt like a doctor or whatever, an expert, to learn about how to communicate with their loved ones on the other side. So I've had all these little glimpses of things. It's like, oh my goodness. I mean, I even saw my grandma, who passed before my mom, escorting my mom to the other side. So like, she was one of my mom's guides to kind of help her to orientate to the spirit world. So there's a few things and these I personally experienced. I haven't read about that. I experienced that. Hi, Susie. How are you? Hi, Kathleen's asking, how do we know or find out who our spirit guides are, spirit team? So again, sitting in the silence. I know there's meditations online. Just make sure it's one that resonates with you. There are ones to meet your spirit guide. But even just putting that intention out, even journaling it, that you want to meet with your spirit guide, sit in the silence, and just say, can you give me a sign? I'm looking for a sign. I want to connect with you. I want to learn more about you. And just wait and see. Something might happen then. It might be a few days later. It may be a dream. Because sometimes I find if you put things out there and you're like obsessing about it, sometimes you block it. And just look for like things that occur again and again. And there's always for a reason. It could be a sign that your guide's giving you. I don't know. Let me think of a sign. Let me just think of something maybe. It could be something like a feather, for example. You start finding feathers in unusual places, or you keep hearing the same name again and again and again. It's like, this is so odd. I'm hearing the name. Now the name's on in a song on the radio. I'm seeing on a billboard. I got a letter and it was delivered to my house by mistake. That person's name's on it. Lots of different ways that you can feel your guide, and you'll just know, and kind of sitting in this silence, you can say, come close, to ask them to come close to you, and just wait for that subtle shift in energy. It's like, oh, I feel like someone's standing beside me, or I feel like someone's telling me something. So it's so subtle to be able to meet with your guide. And it's always helpful you can always get like a mentor or find a visualization that will help you with that. There's lots of books. There's a book I don't have at the moment, but it's all about your guides, which is quite a good one. And do you think I can remember who the author is right now? I cannot. But there's some really good books to help you too. Even before, you can even try it before you go to sleep, because a lot of times you'll have dreams that are quite prolific, because you're relaxed, right? You're not in your mind space, and then it's easier kind of for that information kind of to flow to you. You know what? I can't even remember. You know what? I do remember the first time I met my guide. I have a book I recommend all the time. It's called The Psychic. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have my books with me. Psychic Workbook, I think it's called. And there was one activity in there where you stare into a candle flame. So you just sit in the silence, you just stare at the flame in the candle. And I did that. And then I had that experience where I heard a voice, and I was so scared, I have to tell you that. This is before I took any development classes. And I heard this booming voice, and it says, "Finally, you're here. You know how long I've been waiting." I'm like, oh my God, what was that? And I was so terrified. I was like, shut down, shut down, shut down. And I couldn't do anything for maybe at least a week after that. And I know that was my guide. So they're waiting for the opportunity. Sometimes meeting your guide, that opportunity might be when a loved one passes away, or you have some kind of traumatic event, or you're just in such a deep sleep and you've been, asking for help from the universe with something, and then there's their opportunity to kind of come in and make themselves known to you. I hope that helps. It's kind of hard to explain in just a few minutes. Hi, Shayna. How are you? Hi, Jane. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Jane. Jane says, hello, finally made it. And yeah, I'm getting tough questions today. That's okay. That's okay. Tough in the sense to answer it really compact, short sentences. Any other questions that you're thinking? You just got, what do I want to say about all this stuff? You just got to trust yourself. You've got to, it's all about, with mediums, psychics, any kind of spiritual or energetic work, you really got to learn how to sit in the power. And sitting in the power is just sitting quietly in the silence, getting to know or discern your own soul energy. And that takes time. And you just sit there, nothing. A thought, let it go by. Know your energy, be able to discern it. Then the next step in sitting in the power, right? The spirit world's always around you. So now you're going to allow and blend with the spirit world. So it's almost like your own, I like to, you like soul light, soul energy. You expand it, you connect, you blend with the spirit world, divine spirit, and you just sit there. Let it happen. Feel the shift. Feel the difference. You've got to know the difference between your own energy, your soul, and divine spirit's energy. And that's kind of the beginning of it. That's the beginning of the awakening, being able to discern energy. And then you'll be able to, right? Then you start inviting your guide in. Oh, look at that. My guide's energy is totally different from my own. Totally different from divine spirit, right? And then you start recognizing, when that energy's there. You can start to communicate, right? Get that relationship built. And then the next step from that is now you're discerning loved ones in spirit and being able to connect and know you have a loved one in spirit. Ultimate surrender, channeling what they want to bring through for their loved one. So it's all about, it all starts with, understanding energy and discerning your own energy. That's the starting place. And it's lifelong. I'm like, oh, I got it. I know divine spirit, and I know what that feels like. It's like, whoa. Every month? I would say every month, every 6 weeks or so. It's almost like it's more than I ever thought it could be. It's like an onion. You just keep peeling back the layers, as you learn, as you develop, as you practice, as your heart opens wider and you're doing this in service for spirit. It's just such an amazing journey, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, try that candle and see if that works for you. Just in a quiet room. If I remember, it was a quiet room. I kind of dimmed it. Make sure it's up high, right? It's not going to be knocked over or anything like that. And it just kind of gives you something to focus on, and it quiets your mind. The other thing is your breathing. Go back to your breathing and just try that. Put an intention out where you want to connect with your spirit guide, or even just, I just want to receive a sign. I want to feel their presence near me. Start slow, right? It's like anything, right? You slowly develop that relationship because there's that element of trust for you and your guide. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Kelsey. Hi, Marka. Sarah. Any other questions about that? What else can I'm just trying to think of my own experience. It's just the silence, you know. I remember in the very beginning, I had a designated sacred space. I was lucky at that time because two of my children had moved out, so I had an empty bedroom. So I kind of took that as they called it my meditation room. Where's mom? She's in the meditation room again. And I would have all my things that I were passionate about, that were beautiful, that meant something to me. So it could be my crystals, it could be photographs, it could be my books, which I adore, whatever. And I would just go there. I would sit in I'd have my comfy chair. I'd sit in that chair. If I didn't light a real candle, I would have one of those ones that look like they're a candle, but they're not, a fake candle. I would maybe just kind of say a little prayer. If you don't want to write your own prayer, you can find one that resonates with you. One that I love is St. Francis of Assisi. I love that prayer. And I would just say that prayer. And then I would, my intention is to connect with the spirit world. And then I would just sit. And I used to sit for like an hour and a half. That was in the very beginning for me. And I would totally lose track of time. And I find the more that you sit in the power, the more it helps to kind of, with your development, kind of speeds up, if I can say that, because you're more aware, right? Discernment of energy. You're powering yourself up, your soul energy. So you can hold that energy to blend and discern with spirit. I feel like I'm giving a lesson today. All of a sudden I'm giving a lesson. I do have my class tonight. I must be getting worked up for my class tonight at 7:30. Hi, Dawn. Nice to see you. But even I guess my point was finding kind of a special place, a sacred space. And I really feel it builds the energy up in that space. So like where I am now, it's a bedroom, and I've taken it over as my I guess my study, you could say. And I do all my work here. I teach my lessons from here. I do my readings here. I do Facebook here. I do my writing here. I meditate here quite often, but I find in my new home, I have a little solarium, and it's so bright, and my beautiful flowers are there. So I usually meditate there in the morning when the sun's coming through. But find those special places. Oh, Lisa says, I love that prayer. I went to St. Francis of Assisi School in Virginia. Isn't that a beautiful prayer? I bet I have it right here. I think I have it here unless I moved it. I try and have it wherever I go. Oh, I might have moved it. I'm trying to be good and just organizing my things, but I usually have it right in my drawer. I haven't done it in a while, but that prayer, to me, what it means to me, it's just about opening up and bringing those things, love, forgiveness, compassion, kindness, bring that through for others. Such a beautiful prayer. So beautiful. It's about, clearing and cleansing your instrument and being of service for the spirit world. Can you think of anything more wonderful? I can't really. And I'm going to be good, and I'm not going to cry today. Lisa says, yes, indeed. Any other questions? Hi, Sherry. How are you? Any other questions? I've been thinking an awful lot about nature lately and plants, and I'm just really excited to start my garden. I'm going to have a really nice herb garden, then plant some tomatoes and zucchini and kale and things like that. So I'm really excited about that. Plants just make me happy. Plants make me happy. My lemon tree's doing so well. I was just checking in on her a little earlier, made sure she had water, and she's doing really well. So yeah. And again, it's the same thing, discerning energy. So why not discern the energy of a plant? How do you feel when you're around that plant? Is there a shift there? What's the difference between my lemon tree and my, what else do I don't know the name of you. I think you're a lily, my lily. What's the difference between those? Oh, you have a lime tree. Yes, I have a lime tree too. But my lemon tree's taken over. I don't know. I think I got to talk to my lime a little bit and make sure he's okay where he is. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the grounding, right? So when you're working in your gardens or walking, you're grounding yourself, right? And when you're grounded, right, you can connect in easier with your own energy and with the spirit world if you're going to be doing that. Tomatoes and onions. Oh, I know. Oh, there was so much rain. Yeah, I'm holding on. We wait to the May long weekend to plant outside, but I do have a few things. I couldn't resist. So they're just waiting. They're waiting. And I'm just like, where am I going to put you? Where am I going to put you? And I don't know if I mentioned, but my favorite flower is tulips. And I've just done a walk around the garden. I've got so many tulips. I've never had actually tulips in my garden ever. So the previous owners of this house planted tulips. So I'm just so happy. I'm like dancing around. I got some red ones. I got some yellow ones. I'm just so happy with these tulips. They make me so happy, tulips. Yeah, for sure. There's just something about tulips. Does anybody else have any questions? But again, right, it's that, you know, take the time for yourself. Take your time. Really, mediumship, if you want to be a personal medium for yourself and connect to your loved ones in spirit, or if you decide to become a professional medium, it's all about discipline. I hate to tell you, it's hard work. It's hard work. It's all about discipline, putting in the work. And it's really about love too, right? It's about love. You learn an awful lot about yourself. And you need to learn about yourself in order to help others and be open to other people's stories to bring through. Because if you have blocks in your own life, it's going to show up in your mediumship. So it's a lifelong journey for sure. Look at all these people that love tulips. We have to have like a tulip fan club. I would love to know what tulips mean. Look at what's tulips mean. But yeah. My favorite flower. My husband's like, I can't find any tulips. I said, you're not going to find them at Christmas time. It's only in the spring, because that's my favorite flower. He buys and they're beautiful. He'll buy me like 2 dozen roses. I'm like, oh, they're so beautiful. He goes, sorry, I couldn't find any tulips. I'm like, there aren't any right now. But yeah, but I do love the tulips. Any other questions or comments? Anything that you've been thinking about? Thank you, everyone, for listening. I feel like I'm going through therapy here, and all you poor guys have to listen to what I'm talking about. Any other questions? Or I don't know what else is coming up in astrology in the next little while. I know soon the sun's going to go into Gemini. Yahoo! And I'm a Gemini. And I think some of you are Geminis too. Oh, there is a full moon. Thank you. On May 22nd, there's a full moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so there's a full moon. We had the new moon, then it's the full moon. And then another new moon, June 6th. Yeah. I just bought an interesting book. I haven't started reading yet, but it's about how the moon influences you, and it goes through all the different cycles of the moon, so I'm kind of excited to read that. There we go. The 2 Wendy's are a Gemini. High five, Wendy. So you're probably a bit of a chatterbox like me. Geminis love to communicate. Hey, buddy. And my poor dog's getting sick of listening to me all the time. So it's nice someone else can listen to me. Oh, Kathleen too, there we go. Sarah, the other night I was out and my friend showed up and I felt goosebumps when she approached me. She's a spiritual person. And her sister a few months ago, I really believed I felt her. Oh, there you go. I absolutely believe you probably did. Absolutely. That was Sarah, right? So her friend showed up and you felt goosebumps when she approached. I'm going to assume, did her sister pass? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying, because it says here, she is a spiritual person and her sister a few months ago. I don't want to assume that. So it's very likely yes. And if her sister did pass and you kind of felt like goosebumps, like a shift, a change in energy. So that would almost be like a calling card for you, Spirit saying like, pay attention, pay attention. I would not be surprised if that was a sign that you were getting, that it was her sister. Absolutely. And I'd like to talk about this in my class, Chatterbox too, Kathleen. I like to talk about this in my class too, about there's a difference between being a disciplined and undisciplined medium. So undisciplined medium would be someone that's like kind of on 24/7, giving random messages to people, doing like party tricks, things like that, not shutting down, not having boundaries. So you have to, I don't know if you're a developing medium, Sarah, or this is just kind of being awakened in you and you don't know what the next step is. I just want you to be, aware of the decisions you make, I guess. That's what I want to say. I don't know if you connect with your guide or anything like that, but just be aware of boundaries, because like imagine, I've been places like in a grocery store, I'm like, oh, her husband passed away and nope. And I'm just like, nope. I just, goodbye. And I think, so what if I would have went up to this woman and I said to her, oh, your husband's behind you. And what if her husband just passed away maybe a month ago? This was her first time in the grocery store. Is that showing any integrity of putting this woman on the spot in a public place? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So just things like that, I want you to, yeah, that's okay. You've always felt that. Okay. So just think about, so if you're, how would I deal with this? It's like a can of worms. You know what I mean? Once you open it up. So I just want you to think about that in terms of integrity, what the right thing to do is. A lot of times I had this situation when I went away with friends in Aruba, and their son-in-law's father came to me in a dream. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And, I just want to be a regular person. I don't want to explain to everyone that I also do mediumship, and the whole trip would have changed. And oh my goodness. So I decided at that time, I thought, okay, if he doesn't come back, I'm just going to leave it. And I actually kind of said, could you try and come through it another way? So I did that, and then everything was okay. But sometimes I would say, I had this weirdest dream, and I was dreaming of your sister, and she was just so happy. So that's a way you could do it if you wanted to share that message. Yeah, you get light. So there you go. So you're starting to discern spirit, right? So you're aware of a shift there in the energy. So if you don't take a development class, you've got to decide, Sarah, what do you want to do with this? And I always believe, you're being shown this for a reason, but then the choice is up to you, right? Sometimes it's just not the right time. I'm too busy, I'm raising a young family, whatever's going on, I'm changing my career. So that's up to you to decide what to do. Then once you make that decision, you have to decide. I recommend this. I've had three mentors. Every one of my mentors have taught me something different, and they came at the right time into my development. So they came at the right time and they gave me the information that I needed. So find maybe a mentor to support you in your development. So that's really important. Just get some boundaries in place and understand the process and things like that. I hope that's helpful, Sarah, because the same thing happened to me and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is happening? And I think it took me, now there's more mediumship teachers and we have Zoom and all those things, but it took me a good 1.5 years even to find a medium. And there was no Zoom. Nobody did that. So I actually found one that wasn't too far away in my community. and I started it. So, and I've never regretted it, and I would never do it another way. And I'm a strong believer in kind of the traditional way of working with your clairs and developing those clairs and then continuing on to the mediumship. But that's just me, and that's how I learned. So sorry if I got into a speech there. So look who resonates with you. Whose energy do you like? Look at their reviews. What do their students say? I know for myself, and it's funny that we're talking about this because I just took on like 3 new clients that I'm mentoring right now, and 2 of them are going to be coming to my development class in June. And what I did with them is like we would meet for like 15-20 minutes and we would just chat. I want to see what your needs are. I want you to get to know me. This is what I have to offer. Do you think we're a good fit? Awesome. If we are, then let's, book a mentoring session and let's try it and see if I'm the person for you. Right? And, my feelings are never hurt, even though I'm like, I want to help and be with everybody, But anyways, even if someone decides not to be with me, that's okay, because I'm saying they're not resonating at this time for me. So I wish them all the best to find the medium or find the right time that they're ready to move forward. So I hope that helps in some way. And I'm very open about talking with somebody for 15-20 minutes and just, see if we're a good fit or not. So, and I've just happened to take on 2 more students this week. So it's just been awesome. All these new people. I'm just so excited. I just love to support others on their journey. Because I've had my own frustrations and things I didn't understand. Like, I'm going to do this for others. I don't want them to have to go through all this that I did. So, and it's not about, and I think I said this to my 2 clients this week, it's not about making you a mini me. It's about empowering you and assisting you. I'm not making you into anything. I want to take that back. Assisting you, helping you to empower yourself to find out the type of medium you are. And every medium is unique, every single one. And that's what's so amazing. So amazing. And the spirit world needs lots of mediums, right? They want to come through. They want to find the medium that is on the same wavelength. I don't know if that's the right word, but they want to find a medium that they can connect with, that will tell their story with integrity in the most, the clearest, most detailed way. If that makes sense to you, I hope that makes sense to you. Because I really do feel that. I'll tend to get, I might get spirits who perhaps were a teacher in a past life, or they have certain similarities that are similar to me or my experiences. So it's almost like this sense of kind of like comfort, like almost like a sense of recognition almost of one on a soul level. And it's like, oh, there's the medium for me. She's the one. She's the one. And not even that. Sometimes I feel it's just like, here's the opportunity. I know my loved one is going to be here on Wednesday, or I know my loved one's going to go to this demonstration of the spiritual church. So I'm really going to try and connect with that medium to get the message through. So, the spirit world is just so intelligent. The things they know and the things they align, and, so I don't take on more stress than I need, because I know everything's going to work out the way that it should. I hope that helps. Whoa, that was a long-winded, hi, Susan, I own it. So really, if you're, and more people are awakening. I'm just connecting with more and more people, and they may come to me for a mediumship or a soul reading. Then by the end of the reading, we're talking about how they have spiritual experiences and how they're thinking of being a medium, blah, blah. And before you know it, so it's happening more and more. This is normal. This is natural. You've just got to decide what you want to do with this kind of awakening, right? Do you want to develop it more? It doesn't mean you have to be a medium. It means you want to learn a little bit more about this. You can use that discernment of energy. You can use different kinds of meditation technique to live a more fulfilled life, to understand your own energy, how other people can influence you at work. You can learn how to put your passions into whatever work you do. And I think I talked about this before. I was a teacher and I really wanted to become a professional medium. I thought, oh boy, I can't do it if my students' parents find out that I'll be pulling them out of the class. So I said, okay, so how can I use my abilities, my psychic abilities to keep it going, right? So I'm developing it further within my class. So I would just connect in with my students, even my class, on a more spiritual, intuitive level. So I would know immediately what their needs were, what would work for them in terms of assistance. I used it all the time. And I had parents say to me at parent-teacher meetings, it's like, you know my child better than I do. And it's because I use those intuitive abilities in whatever I'm doing. I use that in my gardening. I use that in my cooking. I use that when I meet new people. Immediately I know, is this someone that I have to be concerned about? Because I've had like red flag, get away from this person. Then I've had other people, I'm like, my goodness, I think I've known you before. So you can use these abilities in any ways. You don't necessarily have to be a medium. And I tell you, this is the future of humanity. We're going in this direction. I really feel it will be all about like telepathy. We'll just communicate mind to mind with one another. We'll know immediately. That's how the spirit world is, right? Souls, they communicate telepathy. That knowing, they know immediately who you are just by being in your energy, in your presence. I hope that helps. Let's see, Lori, I have a newfound idea of heaven afterlife. I feel like there's no heaven, just afterlife. Any thoughts? Let's see. I don't even know. I don't know if I like that term afterlife. Life after life after life after life. Heaven, I think, is just a term that's used, heaven. I don't really use that word heaven. Once in a while I'll pop up, I'll say it because I'm feeling like, oh, maybe if I say heaven, my audience might understand what I mean, or my students might connect in with that term heaven. And it is afterlife. I like to call it the spirit world. Yeah, it is the spirit world, absolutely. I don't really use the word heaven. I agree with you there, Lori. And it's eternal life. Could I say it like that? Eternal life. So it's life after life after life after life. So it might be on the earth plane. It might be on the spiritual plane. I mean, I've even heard people talk, and I haven't done my own kind of research or feeling into this. I mean, people even talk about you don't necessarily come back to earth. You might go to another planet. And they talk about star seeds and things like that. And I do, you know, and I've read some things about, you know, like Atlantis. And I can tell you, I am so connected to the ocean, the water, it's crazy. So I don't know if that means some connection to Atlantis or not. But I know when I'm near the water and the ocean and ocean animals, I just feel this sense of like I'm home, like a connection. I can't quite explain that. So maybe that means I have had a previous life in Atlantis. I don't quite know. Maybe that's my future, to learn more about, you know, past lives and how they influence you today. That would be an interesting thing. Lori says, I like that better. Lynn, agree. Love eternal life. It is eternal life. It's just in different forms. Can we say it like that? In different forms. And just think, right? If you're in the spirit world, your lessons, your experiences are going to be different from the earth plane. And I don't know, say you're on another planet. Is there Sirius? Sirius, is that the star? Say you're on Sirius. I'm sure the lessons and the experiences there are different. And we all know that we're here on the earth plane to evolve our soul. So our life lessons are not random. Even though that's my son's favorite word. Oh, Mom, that's just random. Like, okay. Well, it's not random, and you're here to learn certain lessons to evolve your soul, right? So we're spirit having a human experience. So again, and that whole meditating and discerning your own energy, basically you're discerning spirit within your soul, because you are spirit, correct? So it's taking that time to discern it. What is that spirit? What does that feel like? What is that? You know, and I know young children, that they're definitely in connection with their spirit, their soul. You can just watch them. Look in their eyes. Watch them interacting with nature, with animals, with people, not a care in the world. You know, and then, you know, society and teaching and boundaries and rules. And then slowly it starts to shut down, right? And then again, that awakening process will begin at a later time in life. There we go. Lynn, I feel exactly the same way. Kayla, I really hope my dad is waiting for us. Absolutely. Absolutely. No question about that. No question. So Kayla, take that energy, instead of thinking things like that, say, hi, Dad, I love you. I know you're around me. You know, just do that little tweak. Dawn, I feel like children don't have it. They don't. And can I tell you, when I taught kindergarten, my goodness, I love kindergartners, grades age 4 or 5, the things they would tell me. Like, my grandma's a bird, and she was looking in the other window the other day, and she watches me all the time. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And I'm like, I got to hold back. So I'm like, I want to have a whole discussion. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do it. They would tell me the coolest things, you know, like, you know, this tree hurts, this tree hurt. Like the things they would tell me was just awesome. And like, yes, yes. I'm like, hold on to that, hold on to, I'm just thinking in my head, please let her hold on to that. Let him hold on to that. We need more people like this in the world. Does she, my 2.5-year-old niece communicates with my sister there you go. Absolutely. Because they're open, right? They're open. They don't have any blocks put in place. The veil, they talk about the veil being open, right? Then I think they say around, it's around age 7, like kind of the veil goes down. The veil goes down. And then, and it's like we're busier. Sometimes I wonder, is that on purpose? I don't know. Does it go down for everyone? I'm pretty sure it did for me. I'm pretty sure it did for me. I spent most of my childhood talking to animals. And if you think about, you know, if you feel into the energy of an animal, you discern their energy. Oh boy, now I'm going to cry again. Animals have the most gentle, open, compassionate energy. It's just the most beautiful thing. And it's so easy to connect and blend with it. You just got to quiet the mind. And that's what the challenge is, that human part of us, quieting our mind. Lynn says, always loved the water. I learned myself to swim, but underwater as a young adult. Oh, me too. I took scuba diving. The very first time I went under with the tank, I thought, oh my God, isn't that beautiful, Lynn? Oh, then I do on land. I'm grateful. Oh, isn't that, there you go. Now, if that isn't a sign right there, I don't know what is, Lynn. So there's something right there. That's beautiful. So me, myself, personally, I feel like it's a whole bunch of me, but you decide what you want to do. So for example, you resonate with water. You feel comfort there. So maybe that's something, one of your passions you want to continue to develop in some way. I wanted to be a marine biologist, actually. And then I didn't end up going that direction. Then I thought maybe animals, and then I went with children. I went with children. Sarah says, yes, absolutely. Dawn, I remember when I lost that. Yeah, you remember when you lose that, right? Yeah. And I remember I just wanted to help people when I was little. Animals and helping people. I just want to like do things for people. That was my like, just thinking, I guess that was part of my purpose. Like it was just right there. Like I was sensing my soul, right? You're going to connect to a spirit and you're going to help people. So on your journey, I wish I had heard that then. On your journey, you're going to have lots of bumps and challenges, and you're going to think, you're not worthy, and people are going to give you a hard time. But you remember who you are. Just keep that path regardless. Keep that path. And I'd like to say that I've maintained that. I got to have maybe I'll have a special party for my birthday this year. I did it. I survived. Oh, yeah. I love the animals so much. There you go. And there is mediumship for animals, right? Animal mediumship you can do. And there's, when they're alive too. So almost like animal, what do they call it? Animal communication. So it can be psychic and it can be mediumship. And for me, just the animal mediumship just naturally evolved. And I think that's just my love of animals, my connection with animals, always talking to them. And they just kind of like, slip right in. It's like a fresh, clear sip of water. That's what animal energy reminds me of. It's just so beautiful. Like on a hot day, it's just like, here I am. Can you take a minute? Let's chat. Just beautiful. Hi, Jackie. How are you? I'm doing a lot of chatting today. Okay, so let me see if I can do a few communications today. And just a reminder, what do I have to remind people about? Okay, what do I have to remind people about? Okay, so listen to the evidence. If you can take 80 to 100%, say yes in the text box. And then I'll work with you and I'll bring some more information through. I record this event and then I post it in YouTube for people who would like to review it at a later time. Listen to all the messages because there's a message in there for everybody. I guess I would say my intention, my purpose is just to demonstrate the survival of consciousness after death, to demonstrate that our relationships are eternal, and just to remind you too that our loved ones are around us. They do hear you. Just remember, if your loved one gives you a sign or you're thinking of them, just say, hi, Dad, how are you? Then they know you've got that sign, and they'll bring through other ones for you. And what else did I want to say? I wanted to say something else and I forgot. So maybe I just have to let that go. By no means anything that I share today, by no means I'm an expert in really anything. Everything I share is from my own experience or things that I've learned from the spirit world, or perhaps shared through a mentor, and things that I've practiced, etc. So please take that resonates with you and leave behind what does not. But I'm always coming from, a good intention, the intention of healing and love and compassion. The other thing I just want to remind you too, sometimes people forget this. When you do get a healing message from your loved one in spirit, not only does it heal you, but it also heals your loved one in spirit. So it's like, you bring them healing, receiving that message. And in a sense too, your medium or me this evening or this afternoon, I will also receive a sense of healing, as well as audience members for just experiencing this communication. So I just like to mention that too, because it's all about healing all around for everybody. So Lynn, I have one of the highest diving. Wow. I bet you were, Lynn. Oh my goodness. And boy, do I have a connection with dolphins. Oh my goodness. It's like I want to talk to them. I can like feel what they're saying. Oh, That's so beautiful, Lynn. Lynn, I believe you 100%. Oh my goodness, maybe we've known each other before. Isn't that awesome? I'm with you. I got you 100%, Lynn. That's just awesome. So if you'd like to take it, that's so awesome. I love dolphins too. Oh, and they're so intelligent. They're so intelligent. And when anyways, we won't go that direction with dolphins right now, but anything we can do to protect them, anything we can do. Okay, so if you just want to take a deep breath in, inhale, hold, and then release. Do that one more time. As you inhale, I just want you to expand your heart out and just feel, right, your soul light, your spirit brightening up right there. Invite a loved one in spirit close to you. And inhale again, exhale. Okay, and thank you. All right. And let's see who we have today. Okay. Okay, I have two right now, and I just want to see who wants to come through first. I feel I have a male and I have a female. I know the female is a sister. Okay. Oh, I think this sister really wants to come through first. So, okay. So I have a female in spirit, a sister, and I feel that they're sisters here. I feel that this sister, you're very close in age, the two sisters, like maybe 1.5 years, 2 years apart. I'm just feeling into this. I feel that the sister in spirit might have been the younger one. So I'm just going to put it out there, the younger one, and she's emphasizing to me, it's very interesting. She's emphasizing to me her beautiful hair. And she's showing her hair, and she's showing it like being long, like a long, thick, luxurious, beautiful, like, and she's actually showing herself. It's funny because I'm seeing her from the back view, and I'm seeing her hair down her back. Oh, Kayla, these events are always so here. Oh, that's so lovely. So I'm just going to make sure that so I feel that I have a sister. She's close in age to her other sister. So I know there's two sisters. One of the sisters in spirit. She's close in age to her sister. Okay, she's just talking about, there's something that's really okay. All right, that's pretty close. The hair, okay. Amanda, can I just, okay, hold on, Amanda. Let's just see. It's like she keeps, I'm like stuck on the hair, so I'm not getting what she's trying to tell me, so just hold on a minute. And I just feel like, Amanda, if you can take this memory, it's like she's giving me a memory, and I feel like it's a hairbrush, almost like a paddle style hairbrush. I think that's what they were called. And her hair being brushed. Something about her hair being brushed. And she's talking about this was done in, like it was done with love. It was like done with peace, like a calming of her. And I feel at this time she was unwell. And it's funny because she's showing me this, and as I'm seeing like the hair being brushed, I'm almost seeing like hair coming like out of the hairbrush. Can you take that at all, Amanda? So I have a sister, and she really wants to come through. And I find usually when they're very determined to come through, they have just passed recently. It wasn't a long time ago. So I feel this is a recent passing. I feel the age between her and her sister is not like big. It's not a big age gap. Because she's saying to me, it's almost like friends. You were so close together. It was like friends more than sisters. And I have a feeling that this sister may have been younger than you. She keeps highlighting her hair, long, thick, luxurious hair, and she's showing it down her back, and then she's giving me a memory, and she's showing me it's like a brush paddle, and the hair's being brushed, and it's like giving her a sense of like, I think she liked her hair brush, because it's almost like this is so peaceful. It puts me in like a good place, and I just feel like I know she had pain, and I feel like it was like pain in the bones, pain in the joints, and just like this brushing in of her hair helped to calm her. Yeah, and the losing of her hair. So I feel that I'm with you, Amanda. We were very close. She was, okay, that's okay. Because you know what I was like, I'm like, what is it about this? I couldn't quite get this. So I feel what, she was older. So I think really what she was getting at with me with that, it was the fact that you helped in some way to take care of her. Like you were the older one. Do you understand that? So she was almost like highlighting your, I don't know what, it's almost like she's saying like your wisdom, your compassion. It was like you were the older ones. It was like you took the reins in some way to help her. Do you understand that, Amanda? Because she's saying that. There you go. People often thought I was the older one. So there you go. So that makes sense. And she probably brought it through like that on purpose. She had, okay. Amanda, okay. And you can take that at near the end of her life, she was losing her hair. Is that correct? Because she's showing me that. The paddle with the hair in the paddle. Okay. So I know I'm working with Amanda right now, if that's okay. If everyone else could just listen. I just don't want to get off track with Amanda, because I'll look and then I'll see little bits. I'm like, oh, who said that? Was that Amanda? Okay. So let me just, and it's so interesting, Amanda, because she showed herself as younger. And then now, like, she's just like bringing me closer, and she's showing me being older. I'm just trying to get her age here. Can you take Amanda? Was she in her 70s? At least her 70s, older? I'm just trying to get her 30s. Okay. There was something interesting because, you know, I was looking at her skin and her hands, and they looked quite, what you want to, like very, like frail, what's the word? What's the word? Like very, like not, actually her hands and her arms look like an elderly person. That's what I want to say. If you can take that at all, Amanda, because that when I looked at, I'm like, show me. And then I'm looking at her hands, and it looked like it was elderly person. Like, okay. Because I'm seeing like, it's almost like I can see, okay. Veiny, yes. Okay. Sorry, where are we, Amanda? Okay. So I'm just seeing her hands looked older. So I'm just seeing these hands. And the hands almost had like, like it didn't have that rosy, like kind of puffy, like lost a moisture. It was like the opposite of that, right? Thin, indented, dry. That's what she's showing me. Okay, let me just, I know it's sister. I don't want to get away from sister because, okay, let me just see what she wants to say, Amanda. Well, she keeps talking about you. She wants to talk about you, Amanda. She's like, I want to recognize Amanda. I want to recognize her. She needs to be recognized. She just keeps repeating that she wants to recognize you. And it's funny because it's like she's saying, I want her to be recognized for the things that had to be done that she did. It's like, I want her to be recognized for the things she did that had to be done. It's like she keeps saying it like that in a roundabout way. And And she's saying, Amanda was always good at picking up the pieces. She's saying it like that. Does that resonate with you at all, Amanda? Something about picking up the pieces? And I feel this support she's referring to is in terms of like your family, your parents. Do you understand that, Amanda? About picking up, she's saying picking up the pieces. I just want to see if I'm still, okay. She's talking about your parents and she's talking about you picking up the pieces. And it's funny because your sister just keeps saying, what's the word she was just saying? Oh, she just keeps like repeating like devastating, devastating, devastating. She just keeps repeating that word. Like the news of her passing was like devastating, like it's like she's just communicating to me like it changed everything in that moment. Everything changed in that moment. Everything changed in that moment. She just keeps repeating that. Okay. Okay. And she's just saying to me, like, she's just bringing this forward because she wants you to know, she wants everyone to know that she knows what everybody went through. So she's acknowledging that. I want you to know that I know because that's important. And it's like she's saying, like, it's like she wants that to give you relief in some way that she knows. She's like, I know, so I want that to give you some kind of relief. Because I know it's something about I just feel so much like tight. It's so tight. It's just being held in. And she's just coming forward because she's saying she wants to give you relief. She wants to give the family relief. And she's saying, it's funny. It's like she's saying like, you can't let it all go, but it's almost like loosen up. You know, it's like she's saying like loosen up your belt. You understand that? Like you've eaten too much and like, just loosen the reins a little bit. Just loosen. Everything's going to be okay. Just loosen up the reins just a little bit. She's just saying it just like that. Okay. And okay, she's bringing my mind to, she's talking about flowers, and I feel this would have been connected to memorial. I know these flowers are white. They sure feel like they're white, or I'm seeing white petals for sure. So she's talking about flowers, and she's just smiling about these flowers. So these flowers had some kind of significance to her. And I feel that they were chosen with some thought to it. Is that correct, Amanda? Did she have like a favorite flower? Like, I don't know. What am I seeing? Darn, I got to learn more about flowers. I don't know why I want to say I can't even say the word. Chrysanthemum. I can't even say the word. I want to say that flower for some reason. So I'm just going to say that word because that word's popping into my mind. You know those kind of petals? Like the flower had those kind of petals. Like I'm seeing chrysanthemum, which is hard to say. And I'm seeing like something about daisies. Why is she bringing daisies forward? So I don't know if there was a question about, oh, we can't have daisies at a funeral. It's not formal enough. Or I don't know why she's giving me that feeling. Like it was between a formal flower or like a wild flower. I don't know. She's talking about flowers, a formal flower and a wild, a more natural, a more organic flower. So I'm getting something about two types of flowers. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you. That's why she keeps talking about the flowers. Okay, thank you. Because you know those petals? Yeah, okay. I understand. Okay. She's kind of laughing about that and she's saying, that's okay. That's okay. Okay. She's kind of laughing about that. Isn't that funny? She says, that's okay. She's saying, what's important? Okay, what's she saying? She's saying, what's important is family being there. She's talking about family being there. So it was really important for her to see the family unit there. She keeps talking about family unit, family unit, family unit. That meant the world to her. And she's saying it meant the world to me because I saw you all coming together to support one another. And Amanda's just saying how it hurt her heart about the flowers and that we are close as a family. Oh, she could have gotten to that. That's okay. Amanda just gave away that it was her birthday on Sunday. Okay, thank you. That's okay. But she's saying, forget the darn flowers. She's saying the fact that I saw everyone together as a family unit supporting one another, I knew everything was going to be okay because everyone has each other's back. So when someone's down, someone can lift you up, right? So it's that, everyone kind of takes their turn and there's always somebody there. There's always someone to talk to. There's always someone to phone. There's always and she says, that was my main concern. It had nothing to do with me and flowers or what I was wearing. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing about that really has any significance because that's not for spirit. That's for the human plane, right? That's what you guys worry about. She says, I didn't worry about any of that. I just worried that you were all going to be okay and that you had each other's back. She's saying, that was my wish for you. And she's saying, my wish came true. So there you go, Amanda. And that was her message. My wish came true. So please let your family members know that she came through. The flowers were of no concern whatsoever. And, she's just kind of reminding you, be a little easy on yourself. Just give let go of the reins just a little bit. And she's saying to you, it's okay to have a chuckle. It's okay to have some pleasures. You know what I mean? And she's I don't know. She's saying, have a chocolate chip cookie. It's okay to do that. You're not meant to suffer. Do you understand that? She doesn't want people to suffer. She say, why would you suffer in my name? You need to celebrate my name. You understand? Don't suffer. She just keeps repeating that. And I'm sorry, I'm exaggerating, but that's the way the message is coming through to me. She really wants me to exaggerate that. Is there, okay, what is that? What are you trying to tell me? There's something else. She's just bringing my attention to something else, something white. It might be a blanket. It might have been a dress. There's something significant about something white. She's just showing me white fabric. She's say that. I'm okay, I'm going to say that. So Amanda, do you have something of your sisters? Do you have something of your sisters that's, I don't know, something that's white? Is it a blanket? What is this? I just feel that there's something of hers that you might have that gives you comfort. I don't know what I'm getting. It feels like it's a blanket, or you have a special dress of hers, or if you could just think about what that is. She just wants me to acknowledge something, and I feel that you have it, or you're aware of it, or it brings you comfort. You know where it is. There's just something about that. So she just wants to confirm that with you, to know that. Okay. And I'm trying to go, and she's giving me more. And I don't know what she's talking about. Something funny. What is this? Is it a necklace or a choker or some kind of beaded? I don't know. There's something funny about this. I don't know if it's something that a child made for her. some memory about, it almost looks like it's like wooden beads and it's like a necklace. There's some kind of funny memory about that. So I just want to share that with you before I say goodbye to her. And she's just going to finish up with, I'm fine. She's like, I'm having the time of my life. I'm having the time of my life. There's just so much love. There's so much love. There's so much love is in the air. That sounds funny, but it's almost like you can breathe the love. She's like, it's there. You can actually, like, if you go like that, I got love in my hand. Because it's like everywhere. It's in the atmosphere. It's all around you. It's in the ground. And that's how she's describing like the afterlife, that it's love everywhere. So she just wants you to know that she's in a space filled with love. Everything is well. There's nothing to be concerned about. Your concern should be on yourself. You take care of yourself. And she's like, I'm going to be looking over you. She's like, I'm going to make sure you're doing what you need to do. That's what she's saying. So I wouldn't be surprised if she comes back and says, what the heck are you doing? I don't agree with that. So she's like, I'm looking and I'm watching. So please take care of yourself. I love you all so much, so much. And I'll leave you with all her love. Oh, what a wonderful young lady. And just to tell you, Amanda, like she was like, I'm coming through. So there you go. Yeah. And I know it was part of the, and you did something for her birthday. There was something for her birthday. Happy birthday, wishes, something. She's just recognizing that too. Wow. I could spend the whole time with your sister. She has so much she wants to say. All right. And I'm just going to leave you with all her love. Oh, thank you so much. And look at the beautiful message she brought through there, right? Our loved ones in spirit, they're not concerned about themselves. They're concerned about you. They're fine. They're healed. They're healthy. They're worried about you. They want you to heal and go through the process and continue your life journey as you're supposed to do, because they have a great view now. They have a bird's eye view of your life now. So they want to sit down and get the popcorn and relax in the chair and just watch all the awesome things you're doing. So please enjoy yourself. Develop those passions. Have those chocolate chip cookies, right? Do those things and do it in your loved one's memory. Make that their legacy. Make that their legacy is about love and life. Okay, there you go. I think that was a little bit of your sister in there too. Yeah. Yes, thank you so much for sharing her with us, Amanda. My heart goes out to you. Lots of love to you and your family and in your healing. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, as I move my mind to the spirit world, I have a gentleman in spirit, and I know he would go by like a shorter name. He would shorten his name, like, and it would be, I don't know, I keep getting an H name. It sounds like it's like How for like Howard, or Harv for Harvey. There's some connection to shortening the name, and he's saying, and he's like getting a kick out of this. He's like saying, my wife is kind of looking into, teetering on the edge into looking into this spiritual stuff. And he's kind of laughing about that because he thinks it's the craziest thing. And it's like, doesn't really know if it's real or not. So she's like on the brink, can't decide what to do. And he's just laughing about that because he's saying, isn't this crazy? Because here I am reaching out to her and she's not even sure if it's really real, but here I am. So there's like some funny thing, like he's saying, isn't this so crazy what's going on right now? And okay. Let's see what else he wants to give me. So that's kind of the background about that. What else does he want to share with me? An older gentleman. I feel balding. I feel like receding hairline. I feel that is the hair color I'm getting is kind of like almost like auburn, almost like kind of reddish. Like it's lighter. It's not dark. I feel that he wore glasses. What else do you want to? What else do you want to tell me? He goes, I'm very polite because I let that young lady go ahead of me. And he goes, and you know that I was here first. I'm like, I know. So he has a good sense of humor. I don't know. And he feels like the kind of fella that he would always kind of do the right thing. I just feel that like, do you know what I mean? Like good manners, being polite. He would do the right thing. You got to give me more, buddy. All right. I don't know a lot about this, but he's just bringing to my mind, he's saying like TB, tuberculosis, if that resonates with somebody. So I believe, I might be wrong, now I have something I need to look up, that's connected to the lungs. Is that correct? I believe TB is the breathing respiratory system. So I feel that this gentleman, his passing was in some way connected to his respiratory system, like his lungs. And he's kind of laughing. He said, you know, that he practiced some things that weren't the healthiest way of doing things. Like I feel that he was a smoker. So he's talking about smoking. I don't know. He could not breathe. Yes. Oh, okay. Let me just see here. I've got some yes. Dawn said yes. Glinda, Lynn, pneumonia. Dawn, he could not breathe. Okay. Did I give an age for this gentleman yet? I don't think I did I? Because I'm still trying to feel into his age. Boy. What? So I'm going to give you a range because I'm flip-flopping here. I'm going to be honest. I'm flip-flopping here. So I've got somewhere between 60s and 70s. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards the 70s when this gentleman passed away. And he's just talking about some bad habits. And I don't know, is there some connection to nuts? Nuts or peanuts? I don't know if he was allergic to them or there's a funny story about that. Because he said something about he had some bad habits, and that he said smoking, and then he said like nuts. So and I interpreted as nuts, like in peanuts, like in nuts. I didn't take it as in being nuts, but okay. Does that help anyone? Does that narrow that down? And I know he said TB to get me to respiratory, and I feel like pain, like in the lungs, like irritation. It hurts, pressure. He was much older. Oh, there you go, Lori. I think it might be you, because I was going to say, and I haven't said this out loud. I said, if his wife isn't here, I feel it's for his daughter. Can you, Lori said, could be my dad, several bad habits and really funny story about nuts. Okay, Lori, can you take, is it you or your mother? I should know this, that there's something he's saying, wife, he said it like this to me. He said, wife investigating the spiritual stuff. So is it, Lori, that you're learning more about spiritual stuff and you've shared some things with your mom and she's like, don't know if I really believe in this. But is there some kind of thing around the spiritual communication and somebody not quite like on board with it? Can you take that, Cheryl? Oh, sorry, not Cheryl. Lori. Does that resonate with you at all? Because that's how he came through. He came with a short name. Okay, let me just see if Lori can. Can you take that for yourself or your mother? Because he's just laughing that it's crazy. I'm just going to see if Lori... Me and yes, tried to get my mom to do it. There you go. All right, Lori, it's for you, for your mom. There you go. And he's laughing and he's laughing. He thinks it's so cute. He thinks that's so crazy. I want to see what he wants to say about that. He says, well, there you go. There you go. He's saying, there you go, Lori. He's saying, now this will be recorded, and now you just have to get your mother to listen to it. He says, yes. And he's saying like we. He's saying like, isn't this, including him, isn't the spirit world intelligent? Do you remember what she said before? They'll find a way to get things through. There you go. I'm finding a way for your mother to get this message. I'm finding the way. What can you not tell that they're around and they're listening? They're listening to me. They're listening to you. They're here, boy. Woo! That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Let me see. What do you want to say? You went to a great deal of trouble to come through. So what do you want to say? He says, first of all, my wife has to know how much I love her. So it's like, you know, it's almost like he has this whole agenda. And he's like, okay, here's number one. And what's he, let me just hear it. He's like saying, I love you, honey, always will, always did, you know that. And he's just going on and like saying like, you know, girl of my dreams, I love you, I love you, I love you. We will be reunited one day. It is true, it is true. And he's talking about, you know, like understanding this brings you the freedom. You understand? You see, it'll bring you the freedom to live your life to the fullest. So you don't have to worry or hold guilt or be frustrated about things or be afraid of memories or tears. He goes, I'm coming through to bring you the freedom that you deserve. It's funny. I was saying two words at the same time. I was saying deserve and I was hearing desire, but I didn't say that. So he's saying, I'm bringing you the freedom that you desire. And he says, it's interesting. He's saying, it's not even just the freedom of the mind, you know, because you keep thinking again and again about things and if this and that would have been. He says, it's the freedom of the heart, to live your life fully and do what you still need to do, to be there for our daughter. So he's connecting to you. And he's saying, and he's thanking, now he's turning the tables. He's talking about you, Lori, and he's saying like to me, but I'm going to relate. He's saying like, what a good daughter. Isn't she a good daughter? Look at her. Can you feel her love and her compassion? He goes, can you feel it? Can you feel it? And he's saying this to me in the sense like he's aware of, he can feel the love and the compassion you have for him and being drawn to him. He feels that bond with you. So he just wants you to know that he feels that. I don't know. He's what's he talking about here? He's talking about a bird or birds. So I know he brings the sign of birds. I don't know. It's funny. It's like he's showing me a bird feeder and he's showing me a lone bird, like one bird just kind of sitting on, or I don't know if there's like a little platform or something to this bird feeder, like sitting there and almost like not feeding, but sitting there and then looking, like looking to a window, looking to a house, looking at a person. So it's just, he's just highlighting this bird. It's almost like the bird's looking over. I feel like, is it looking over your mother? I feel it's like your mother looking over the home, looking, and he's saying like, that's like it's like he's sending that energy, that inspiration to that bird and saying, as he watches you, I'm watching you. Do you understand that? It's like, I'm watching him who's watching you. So he's making that connection between the sign is just showing or telling you that I'm watching, I'm taking care of you, he just keeps saying, like, I'm there. So I don't know if, I don't know. He's just saying something about your mom feeling lonely lately, or lonely, if you can take this, Lori. I don't know. He's like, your mom's lonely. I don't know. Something about your mom being lonely. She's like, don't let her be lonely. Don't let her be lonely. He just keeps saying that. And then he just shows me, like, he shows me your mom, and like your mom's kind of just, you know, like melon, like, you know, when people are reflecting and thinking of sad things and they just kind of look out the window and their eyes are a little watery. It's just kind of like that. Lori said a friend wants to remove the bird feeder and she's very lonely. Oh yeah. I don't know if you should remove that bird feeder right now, but just think about it, especially what your dad just said. She is lonely. She is lonely. Okay, what's your dad saying about that? Does your mom enjoy, it's like he's bringing my attention to like tea, like a cup of tea, almost like, what do you call that? Not necessarily a high tea, but like going to a coffee shop or somewhere where you can get like a tea and some pastries and just kind of go out and have a little bit of a good time. He's bringing my attention to that would be something that would be lovely for her. He's saying that would be lovely for her. And he's like, if she won't go out and do that, he's like, take the tea party to her. It's like, take the party to her. And it's almost like, you know, make it special. Do you understand? It's like, you know, he's showing me like a fancy teapot, nice teacups, some special kind of pastries, like make it, and I'm like almost seeing like a fancy tablecloth. It's like making the most of that moment, making it, like, I keep using the word special. I'm so sorry, but it's almost like, oh my goodness, I see what he's getting at. It's like you're waiting for a special guest. You understand that? And he's funny because he's laughing. He's like, and I'm the special guest. Wow, that's interesting. Wow, I don't know where to go with this. Okay, give me 1 minute here. He's talking like, it's like setting up the table like for a special guest. For a special guest. But it's like your special guest is like, I know it's your mother, and it's like your father's saying him too, because he'll be there. He's always around. So isn't that interesting? And you've got to, Laura, you always have, we did several things last week when I was there preparing her. Okay, so it's like making things kind of special. So your dad like 100% says yes. If you're doing that you're on the right track. It's like making things special. Do you know what? And people are like, oh, don't bother. Oh, it doesn't matter. But you know what? Your father's saying it does matter. It does make a difference, because like if you look at your meal and it's the same old rice and beef or whatever, and it's bland and it's boring, but if it's like a variety of different colors, maybe it's in a nice dish, or maybe there's a special, I don't know, blend of tea or coffee with it, it does make it special. And it's like, okay, I understand. So your father's like saying it makes your senses come alive. Do you understand? Like your sense of sight, smell, taste. It's like a whole, it's like, what's he saying? It's like an unfolding. It's like letting go of that loneliness. It's like a remembering and a celebrating of life, because life is all about celebrating your senses, right? Seeing the birds, hearing the birds, tasting the food, smelling the food. So he keeps talking about all those things and how important those are. So please keep doing that. And he's talking about you like being like a gem. I keep hearing a gem, a gem, a gem. You're a gem, you're a gem, you're a gem. So he keeps just saying that. And he's saying, if anyone can do this, Lori, you can do this. And he's laughing because he's referring to your creativity. So I don't know if you consider yourself a creative person, but he's saying you are. And he's like, keep putting your creativity into this, because he's saying this is part of your, my goodness, what is he saying? Okay, Lori, he's like saying like this is part of your purpose. Do you understand this? You expressing your creativity and wow, okay, keep going. You're expressing your creativity and helping others. There you go, Lori. I don't know if you're in the healing field or you help others, but if you're not, that's something you should consider. And this is coming from your dad. And I'm like, yeah, I can feel that too. So I just wanted to put that out there, Lori. So I don't know if you're in the healing field in some way or, oh, there you go. There you go, Lori. You're in the perfect field. Perfect field. And yeah. And just a sideline to that, your father says, perfect field, you've got all those qualities and compassion and that need to express your compassion and that creativity. He goes, that's in your soul. That's your motivating factor. He says it just like that. But he's like, don't forget self-care too. So he just remember your self-care and how important that is for you. And he's saying everything that I say for mom, he's saying mom, goes for you too. You understand that, Lori? So that this kind of doing special things like, your senses and food and all that, he wants you to do that for you too. So he's just reminding you. He goes, the last thing we want is caregiver burnout. That's what he's saying. The last thing we want is caregiver burnout. That's what he's saying. So he says, just be aware of that. And he said, when you're ready, invite me in. And I'll have a spotted tea with the two of you. Isn't that funny? He's saying it just like that. I'll come and join you. He goes, but I'm always there. But if you reach out and you talk to me, he's saying, I will hear you and then I will respond in some way. So he's just saying, keep building that relationship between the two of us. Keep building that. I just need to know that the message is getting through. I just need to know. And he goes, I love you. You know that, don't you? And he said, I worked so hard for this to come through to you. I love you. I love mom. He keeps saying mom. Mom, I love mom. And what he's saying something like a little saying like, God keep you both. I don't know what it is. It's almost like God keep you safe. God keep you in his watch. God, there's some kind of like saying about God keep you. It's like nurturing. It's like love. It's like compassion. It's like God keep you close to his breast. Do you understand that? Like in his watch. So there's some kind of saying that I can't quite get what he's getting to, but he's just saying that he's sending you the blessings and he's sending you all his love. So, oh, he did call her mom. Okay, good, because he kept saying mom, mom, mom. Aww. Oh, lovely. There you go. So keep doing that. So he's confirming then. He just says, keep doing that. Oh, what another lovely gentleman. Lovely gentleman. Thank you, Lori, for the privilege of connecting with him. And again, the message, I like to highlight messages because they're so important for everyone. Again, what is this lovely gentleman talking about? He's talking about his wife, right? And again, the celebration of life continues and the support of family members for one another. That's what our loved ones in spirit wants for us. So my goodness, wow. I'm totally overwhelmed to tell you the truth. I might have to lie down for a little bit after this, but you know, the love, the support, the compassion, it's just beyond words, the intelligence of the spirit world. And they're there. You just have to reach out and you just have to communicate with them. So thank you so much. I know I only did 2 readings today. I'm so sorry. It just went a little longer today. So I just wanted to remind everybody. Let me see if I can find my little thing here. So in closing, I just wanted to remind everyone, I think it's either 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks. It'll be at 4 o'clock. Until I can go back to 7 p.m. But if everyone likes 4, I would be happy to stay. Then I get to spend more time with my husband, but we can talk about that next week. I am offering a new mediumship development course. It begins on June the 4th. I forget what day that is. I think it's Tuesdays. Tuesdays, it runs for 6 weeks. 7:30 to 9 p.m. my time, Toronto time. It also includes 4 practice circles where students get together and practice giving each other readings. And I give a detailed student review so you know where you are and what you need to work on with suggestions on how to move forward on your mediumship journey. I'm also looking forward to doing some church demonstrations in July and the fall. So many awesome things going on. And if you want to mentor with me and decide if I'm the right mentor for you, you know, just send me an email and we can have, you can, you know, I can set up a 15-20 minute Zoom meeting for you free of charge and decide if I have a service that could assist you in some way on your journey. So in closing, please remember to keep your heart brave and your imagination wild, because anything is possible. And the spirit world is just awesome. So thank you, everybody. Lots of love to everybody. Please reach out if I can help you anyway. Bye, Dawn. Thank you. You're so welcome. Dawn said, thank you, Wendy, for all you do. Oh, thank you. A privilege, a privilege. Bye, Alexandra. Kayla says, thank you, Wendy. That was, oh, you're so welcome. Bye, you're so welcome. Bye, everyone. It was lovely connecting with you. And I'll see you again next week. Take care, everybody. I will post this on my YouTube channel. Lots of love to everybody.